The thing is that a lot of times we talk about landfills only when there's a fire at the landfill.
Hello and a very good morning to all News 9 viewers. I'm Neha Bhan. Let's take a look at some of the top national and international stories of this hour. We begin with the big news that has come in, a good news rather, from the Uttarkashi Tunnel, where all the 41 workers were trapped inside the ceasefire tunnel since the 12th of November were evacuated safely. Now, the rescued workers were draped in garlands and were greeted by Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and Union Minister VK Singh. The trapped workers were pulled out through a 57-meter of steel pipe. They were placed on stretchers fitted with wheels. Prime Minister Narendra Modi praised the courage and patience of the trapped workers. He also hailed the bravery and determination of the rescue personnel. On the 12th of November, a section of the tunnel between 205 and 260 meters from the ceasefire site collapsed. Workers who were beyond the 260-meter mark were trapped with their exit blocked. It was a tiresome 17-day operation which kept the authorities on their toes, but all well that ends well. Now, after 17 days of ordeal, finally, these 41 workers were rescued safely. Right on your screens, visuals coming in from Uttarkashi. These visuals are from yesterday night, where Pushkar Singh Dhami, the Uttarakhand Chief Minister, along with General VK Singh, also met these workers and asked, in fact, appreciated their resilience and the fact that they put up a brave fight despite challenging circumstances. They're the trapped workers also now thanking the authorities, including the Chief Minister there, for their continuous effort. The Chief Minister there had been visiting the site every single day, taking stock of the situation. This operation will certainly be remembered for the years to come. And one must also appreciate the kind of effort that was put in by the NDRF, the SDRF, the Indian Army, among several others, working tirelessly throughout these 17 days, hoping for a breakthrough. And the breakthrough came. It came yesterday. Yesterday was the day when these 41 laborers were successfully rescued after over 400 hours.
मैं सबसे पहले तो बाबा भौकनाथ जी को नमन करता हूं, प्रणाम करता हूं कि उनकी कृपा से ये आज एक बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण काम, जिसमें हमारे श्रमिक भाई 16 दिनों से भी लगातार अंदर संघर्ष कर रहे थे और पूरा देश उनके लिए बाहर संघर्ष कर रहा था। इस पूरे अभियान में लगे हुए सभी कर्मचारियों को, सभी कार्मिकों को, सभी विशेषज्ञों को, सभी हमारे वैज्ञानिकों को, सभी भारत सरकार की संस्थाओं को और एक एक व्यक्ति, हमारा एक एक व्यक्ति जो मीडिया से भी थे, उन समेत मैं सबका धन्यवाद करता हूं कि इस बहुत ही कठिन और चुनौतीपूर्ण काम को सभी लोगों ने अपना सहयोग प्रदान किया और बहुत चुनौतीपूर्ण काम होते हुए भी प्रातःकाल और शाम दोनों टाइम हमारे प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय मोदी जी लगातार इस रेस्क्यू अभियान की हमसे सभी लोगों से लगातार जानकारी करते थे, लगातार अपना जो सहयोग देना था, जो उनका एक संबल था और उनका जो एक सहयोग और हम लोगों को जो भरोसा था और जो उन्होंने, मैं कहूं व्यक्तिगत रूप से, उन्होंने मुझे एक काम भी दिया हुआ था, ये ड्यूटी दी थी कि किसी भी तरीके से इन सबका समन्वय करते हुए बाहर निकालना है। तो उनका अगर संबल न होता, उनका इतना जिस प्रकार से आज भारत सरकार की सारी हमारी एजेंसियां इस काम में लगी, तो निश्चित रूप से जो कठिन काम भी हमारे लिए आसान हो गया।
Now to discuss more on this, I'm joined by Major General TPS Rawat. He's an ex-Chief Engineer Beacon BRO, live from Bhopal. Many thanks, General. A very good morning to you. I want to know from you, it took 17 days for the authorities to rescue these 40 workers. How difficult are such operations given their geography?
You see, we have seen it live as to how difficult the operation is. And considering the fragile nature of the terrain, with so many, kind of obstacles and obstructions which have come in, and nature can, be unpredictable. So we have seen it live happening for 17 days. The entire nation geared up together, but it is great to know that, in times of crisis, we can come together with all the agencies synergizing towards a particular aim and goal. And the thing be coordinated right from the top. I think there can't be anything better than this. But yes, we have overcome this difficult situation which had come up before the nation. And I think we are very proud of the workers who have, and the agencies who have been successful in getting out these 41 miners who were trapped there for 41 days. Oh, sorry, 17 days.
Right. Well, we've seen similar incidents happening in other parts of the world also. Now, if I have to ask you, how do you rate the success of this operation? What would you say?
That's what I've said. I think it is the best thing which could have happened, and I think there can't be anything better. The way they synergized, and we have so many disaster management teams which have responded in real time, I think. And finally, I think the credit goes to those rat miners. Practice which has been banned in India at least, but then I think they were the final heroes of the entire thing.
Right. Now, this is also a multi-agency coordinated effort. Let's not forget that, we saw bureaucratic hurdles, have been overcome, and there were no per se turf wars between different departments. That was something wonderful. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, that's what I said. It was a synergized effort of the entire nation and percolating right from the top. I think the Honorable Prime Minister was taking a daily update, and with so many officials present at the site, I think, like you said, there was no turf war, and everybody was, working towards a common goal, and that's why we've been successful.
That's right. Now, General, what lessons have we learned from this operation? To begin with, we really need to strike a conversation with the mountains before touching them. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah. Firstly, the first lesson I think will be a positive one, that I think we have a well-oiled machinery now, synergized team effort, and we have I think in any such crisis, I think we can overcome, I think, even much more difficult crisis. God forbid such thing happen. But I think as a nation, we are ready to, with our agencies and the diverse kind of response mechanisms we have, we can take on anything. Now, the second thing is, I think it's been discussed, and, quite a number of times, all panelists who have come here, they have said that, we have to be a little cautious on when we are kind of carrying out infrastructure projects in such fragile kind of terrain. These mountains, everybody has bought out are very young. And in fact, in my first the first time I came on your show, I said, the most important thing is that feasibility study, which has to be done. And if we don't take any shortcuts, such things are bound to happen. And in case if you do the feasibility study properly and by the book, you will find all these fault zones which are there. And we have, besides the cores which I was telling you, which you have to take out and are preserved, you can find out the exact, kind of strength of the rock material which is available there on the overburden. Any water bodies which are existing. And with this analysis, you can design a tunnel, and anything is possible, with the kind of technology we have. So now, as a lesson, I think, which you were asking, we need to take a, carry out a safety audit of all these infrastructure projects which are going on in the Himalayas now. It may delay the projects, but I think that would be a good idea to carry out this kind of a safety audit in case if the feasibility studies have not been done properly somewhere, the impact on the environment, and to prevent such kind of tragedies happening again, we should take a little pause, do a safety audit, and then move forward, because development is also necessary for the nation to move forward. You cannot because of this tragedy which has happened. In fact, there's so many projects going on in this country, and in fact, if you take one has happened, so it was an unfortunate incident, but anything can happen with the nature. So our development projects should not be halted, but I think they can be given a little pause in such areas where we feel, such things of, the nature is, or the terrain is a little fragile, and where such things can happen.
Right. All said and done, General, would you say that this particular incident was a result of us ignoring nature and science?
Yes, I think so. That's I've always been saying. You have to go copybook, and very ruthlessly go copybook. No shortcuts.
Right. Before I finally let you go, I want a word from you on the resilience shown by these 41 workers, who were trapped inside for 17 days, and they just decided to take this challenge head on and not give up. A word from you, sir.
Yeah, yesterday also I told, most of these people were from Jharkhand, known as the Dumka labor. And when I was a chief engineer there, these people used to come from the poor families in Jharkhand. And they're very hardy people, very happy-go-lucky guys. And in fact, for all our difficult tasks, they were the ones who were employed, and they could work day in and night out without any complaints. And in fact, I said yesterday also that I was not surprised when I saw these people, coming out smiling. So, and more than that, I think it has been the outside support which has been given to them, which has kept them going, and the prayers of the people, of the nation. I think it was all together, combined, which kept the morale also high inside, and they came out unscathed.
Thank you very much, General, for joining us with all of those insights. Now, for all of those people who have just joined us, this is a great news for the country. All the 41 workers who were trapped inside Uttarakhand's Silkyara Tunnel since the 12th of November, over 400 hours, were finally rescued. Now, the rescued workers were draped in garlands. Right on your screens are the visuals coming in from the rescue site. These visuals are from yesterday evening. That's when the rescue operation took place. All of these 41 workers were in fact taken to the hospital, and they will be monitored. Their health will be monitored for another 24 hours. They were received by Union Minister V.K. Singh and Pushkar Singh Dhami. Now, these workers were pulled out through a 57-meter of steel pipe. We have several reactions also coming in. Let's listen in.
Congratulations is not due to me or anyone else. The congratulations is due to the nation. I think India has achieved this tremendous achievement, and under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and various organizations that he leads, the PMO itself, from where his principal secretary has been leading the efforts, who has been on the ground himself and spoken to the workers at some time, also gone to each and every site of the options which were being pursued by all the disaster management authorities at that particular time. So I think it's a tremendous achievement personally for the Prime Minister and for his PMO. Down below, ministries of concern, the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, the Ministry of Home, which has done a tremendous job of managing this, the Disaster Management Division of the MHA, and the NDMA itself, the Health Ministry, so many others, the Indian Air Force, the NDRF, the Army Corps of Engineers, and it would be, if one can take up the whole evening naming the agencies and the organizations which have been involved in this. The only message which needs to be realized and communicated is this has been an all of India, all of government and all of India operation. Rarely have we seen such kind of concern for the lives of people who are perceived not to matter. A lot of people may perceive that 41 workers are non-entities, but it just shows that the government of India, the nation, has risen to the occasion and respected the life of the last 41st person who was in this group. My personal commitment in this was that I would not rest until the 41st person was out. There was no need to celebrate only when one man was out, but when the 41st person was out.
सबसे पहले तो इस चीज को समझिए मैंने पहले दिन जब आप लोगों से बात की थी, मैंने एक ही चीज कही थी, हमारा एक ही लक्ष्य है, इनको सेफ निकालना। उसको देखते हुए हमारे देश में या विदेश में जिस भी चीज की हमको जरूरत थी, वो प्रधानमंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन से वो हमको मिली। कोई ऐसी चीज नहीं है, जितने साधन जुटाए गए हैं, इतने साधन किसी और ऑपरेशन के अंदर नहीं जुटे होंगे। दूसरी चीज, सब चीजों के अंदर बहुत अच्छा कोऑर्डिनेशन ऑपरेशन। ऐसा है कि जहां तक टनल के ऑपरेशन में इतने लोग फंसे थे, उनको निकालने के लिए जो चीज चाहिए थी, हर एक चीज की जरूरत पड़ती है। ये कहना कि ये बड़ा या छोटा वो नहीं होता। इस ऑपरेशन के लिए जो चीज चाहिए होती है वो पूरी हमने इकट्ठी की।
ये पूरे भारत की जीत है और मुझे ये कहते हुए खुशी है कि इस जीत का श्रेय मैं पूरे भारत को देता हूं, क्योंकि उनके संबल से, उनकी प्रार्थनाओं से, उनके सहयोग से ही हम यहां तक पहुंच पाए हैं। देखिए, जय घोष तो जितना करें उतना कम है, और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का पूरा जो आशीर्वाद हमारे साथ रहा है, उसका ही प्रतिफलन है कि हम आपके सामने उन 41 वर्कर्स को सुरक्षित ले आए। जब भी कभी हमारा हौसला कमजोर होता था, उस तरफ जो 41 लोग फंसे हुए थे, जब उनसे रोज बात होती थी, वो हमारा हौसला वापस बढ़ा देते थे। हमें ये सोच आती थी कि उनका हौसला इतना अगर बुलंद है तो हम कैसे कमजोर पड़ सकते हैं।
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation with the workers who have been successfully rescued from the Silkyara Tunnel. Take a look at the heartwarming conversation between the two. Now, these are the visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi having a telephonic conversation with the workers. Prime Minister also was taking stock of the situation every single day and praying for their safe evacuation. Now, post they were rescued, the Prime Minister had a telephonic conversation with all of them, asking for their experience and what all did they learn during these 17 days, and also, in fact, appreciating them for the resilience that they showed during these tough 17 days. Now, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami has said that all under construction tunnel projects in the state will be reviewed. His statement to review tunnel projects assumes significance in the light of the collapse of Silkyara Barkot Tunnel on Yamunotri Highway, which led to 41 construction workers being trapped for more than 5 days. All of these 41 workers will undergo a thorough medical examination and will be kept under observation at the health facility at Chinyalisore. As the 17-day-long rescue operation came to an end, all the 41 workers were taken to a 41-bedded health facility near 30 kilometers away from the under-construction tunnel site, where they'll undergo a thorough medical examination and will be kept under observation. Now, there was a temple dedicated to Baba Boknak on the spot where the tunnel begins from the Silkyara side. Despite reservations from the local community, the temple was dismantled. Now, the locals say that it was dismantled without the necessary religious ceremonies. After the rescue of the workers, the government of Uttarakhand has said that the temple will be rebuilt. Now, let's also give you a bit more detail about this operation. What exactly was this operation? How did the rescue effort really come about? And right on your screens, this is the timeline. The tunnel rescue, the twists and turns. November 12 is when these 41 workers were trapped inside the collapsed tunnel. Now, November 13 is when first time contact was established with the trapped workers. November 14th, steel pipes of 800 and 900 mm diameter brought to the site. November 15th is when auger machine was airlifted from the national capital. The heavy auger machine was airlifted from Delhi. November 16, new drilling machine assembled and installed. November 17, machine drills about 24 meters through the 57-meter stretch. November 18th, vertical drilling through the top of the tunnel begins. November 19th, drilling remains suspended. November 21st, rescuers release first video of trapped laborers. November 22nd, horizontal drilling done till 45 meters. Now, November 23, iron obstruction that caused delay of 6 hours was finally removed. November 24th, drilling halted again. Auger drilling machine faces a hurdle. This was a massive setback when the auger drilling machine faced a hurdle there. November 25th, auger machine breaks down. Experts resort to other options. That was the day when auger machine broke down, a very important day in the rescue operation. And November 27th, there, rescuers take out broken pieces of auger machine. November 28th, that was yesterday, all 41 workers were finally rescued. This is the timeline of the Uttarkashi Tunnel collapse throughout the 17 days. Now let's take a reason of the possible reasons for this particular incident. Tunnel built through a geological fault called Shear Zone. Beg your pardon. Now there are warnings against widening road by 12 meters ignored. No proper environment impact assessment done. Unpredictability of Himalayan geology ignored. Water seepage through a loose patch of rock. Seismic activities and improper disposal of excavated material. Now, this was the possible reasons of the tunnel collapse. Now, what we are about to show you is something that is going to surely warm all of your hearts, including mine as well. One of the workers who was rescued has spoken with the media. Let's listen in to what he has to say. 17 days of ordeals, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a lot of courage to just be there inside a tunnel, not being able to see the sunlight and just hoping that we all will be rescued. Let's quickly listen in.
विश्वजीत, आप 41 मजदूरों में से एक थे। कैसा रहा आपका अंदर का जब आप फंस गए थे, तो क्या दिल में और दिमाग में चल रहा था?
दिल में और दिमाग में हम लोग को कुछ नहीं, जैसे जब ऊपर से गिरा तो हम लोग को थोड़ा महसूस हुआ कि अब निकलने का प्रयास तो हम लोग का तो बंद हो गया, लेकिन धीरे धीरे हमारी नवजुगा इंजीनियरिंग लिमिटेड कंपनी जो है सो हमारी प्रयास में लगे रहे। हर जगह से व्यवस्था की गई, ऑक्सीजन की व्यवस्था, खाना पीने की व्यवस्था, और बाहर से मशीन जो आई, बाहर से मंगाए गए, देश से विदेश से अपना मशीन मंगाए गए, इंडिया से भी मशीन कुछ आए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से भी कुछ आए, और इंडिया IDRF वाले आए, SDRF वाले आए। वो लोग सब हमारे देशवासियों, भारतवासियों, पूरा हम लोग को प्रयास में निकालने की कोशिश किया। और मुख्यमंत्री हमारा उत्तराखंड का जो है वो हमारे प्रयास में लगे रहे हम लोग को निकालने के लिए, और हमारे झारखंड के भी चीफ मिनिस्टर भी आए, और इधर प्रधानमंत्री, सब हर व्यवस्था की गई।
अच्छा, खाना पीना कैसा पहुंच रहा था?
खाना पीना हम लोग का जो है सो गिरने के बाद हम लोग को 10, 15, 20 घंटे थोड़ा परेशानी हुई। उसके बाद जो पाइप था हम लोग का, पानी का पाइप, उससे हमारा खाना की व्यवस्था की गई, उसी से हम लोग को खाना मिलता था। उसके बाद थोड़ा 10 दिन होने के बाद फिर बाहर से पाइप का एक जो व्यवस्था की गई, उससे हम लोग खाना, काजू किशमिश, बादाम, रोटी, चावल, दाल, जो भी मिला सही सलामत सब चीज की हम लोग को प्राइवेट की गई।
अब परिवार से बातचीत हो रही है? परिवार कैसा है?
परिवार सब ठीक है। अभी परिवार से बात हो रही थी, बाद में माइक लगाया था, उस माइक से हम लोग बात करवाई गई सबका।
Now, SDRF personnel celebrated after the 41 trapped workers were rescued from the tunnel in which they were trapped. Take a look.
Right now we have DIG NDRF with us, who have the organization that has played a great role in rescuing the entire 41 number of workers who were trapped inside the tunnel for 17 days now. Sir, how have you done this operation?
See, this was a joint operation by NDRF and SDRF, and the base, I would say, for this last intervention was prepared by the experts. We had agencies which worked continuously from the day one, NHIDCL. There were other agencies, and they in fact helped us, in traversing this last stage. This was a challenging situation because, the debris was spread over a large area, and there was continuous, threat of more debris coming in. And when this stage we were progressing, there was, lot of lattice wires were there which got mangled with the tubes, and they have to be cut, and it was very, time-taking job. So lot of constraints were there, but hats off to all the, workers of the agencies here, and the great help that was there from PMO, from MHA and the state administration. They gelled together, the coordination was perfect, and you see the result. There was light at the end of the tunnel.
Right, sir. Especially if we talk about the work that NDRF has done, what is that work? What was the work that you were assigned, and how were you able to do it?
We were assigned the task of, having a joint operation with NDRF and SDRF personnel, moving our personnel, traversing them through the pipe, about 60 meters, then going to the other side and making way for the trapped workers to come up and then traverse, safely to the safe side. So that was a difficult situation because there was unknown situation what would be there on the other side, and they had to be very carefully brought into the pipe because there was regular and continuous threat of the debris moving away, and then with it there could be more problems. So this was done.
Moving through the pipe, it is a narrow passage.
Yeah.
It was a narrow passage, and it was really difficult for you to negotiate that entire path.
Yeah.
How did you do it? And there were special trolleys that you had designed to work in that.
Yes, NDRF works in confined spaces, because we deal with collapsed structure search and rescue operations, which are there in, earthquakes and landslides. So our men are used to, traversing these situations. And since day one, when this incident happened, lot of innovations we have with us. Our commandant, Mr. Sudesh Daral, the unit 15 Battalion NDRF, which is here, and under his guidance, all the officers and the, technical members, they work together to create innovations and other things so that, these could come in handy.
If you can name one or two of them.
Yes, like we had made a trolley of the stretcher with, wheels, so that, we could immediately,
they could be dragged.
Yes, we had the idea that, some of the workers could not, may not be in a position to walk through the long the stretch. So they would be, tied on this thing, and then they would be pulled down quickly. And, we have to do this very quickly so that all 41 can be safely
How many
moved around.
mock drills did you do?
Every day, since they started, the mock drills were continuously being done on the hills, the opposite side, as you can see. They were vertical drilling was carried out. So these actions were on, and I'm happy that, at the end of the day, we were successful in bringing them out.
You spoke to the workers who were trapped inside?
Yes, I was continuously speaking to them, and I must say they were in good spirits because the state administration took very good care, and this, I think, is a model that, and that actually gave us the leverage because 17 days and had they been trapped in a cavity, they were also lucky that, there was good space in which they could move around, and the state administration took great care of them. They were happy, they were getting all the food material, their families were talking to them. So there was continuous communication 24/7, and I think this is a model. This is a really model which we can follow.
Is this a life-changing experience for you? If I talk to you about it.
Yes, for me it was a challenging situation, a great exposure, many learnings, I would say, and I think definitely in the coming times, this particular challenge that we have attended, it will give us more force and more impetus.
Congratulations, sir. You and your team has done a wonderful job, and all the 41 people have been rescued successfully from inside.
Thank you. Jai Hind. Thank you.
The following content may contain visuals that are disturbing, graphic, or sensitive in nature. Viewer discretion is advised. This material is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Please exercise caution while watching, and if you find such content distressing, we recommend discontinuing viewing. This disclaimer is provided to ensure awareness and to prioritize viewer well-being.
Now the war between Israel and Hamas has entered its 54th day. Let's get you the latest update from the war front. Israel frees 30 Palestinians as Hamas releases 10 Israelis and 2 foreigners. US and Israeli spy chiefs in Qatar to discuss the extension of truce in Gaza. Hamas accuses Israel of blatant breach of the ceasefire in northern Gaza. Israel raids Jenin refuge camp in West Bank. Israel's far-right security minister urges Netanyahu to end the truce. Israeli military is using the truce to strengthen readiness. That's what Herzi Halevi has said. Hamas has invited Elon Musk to Gaza to witness the devastation. Now, talking about the death toll, 14,854 Palestinians, including 6,150 children, have been killed in the Gaza offensive. Now, it's the last day of the Israel-Hamas truce. 12 hostages are back in Israel in the latest exchange, according to the Israeli government. The hostages include 10 Israelis and 2 foreign nationals, both from Thailand. The Palestinian terrorist group Hamas and allied group Islamic Jihad freed 12 hostages on Tuesday, bringing the total released since the truce began on Friday to 81. Hamas and Israel were expected to release more hostages and prisoners on Wednesday, which is the last day of a prolonged 6-day truce in the Gaza Strip conflict. This is according to reports. The Israeli media has also reported that Israel received a list of hostages which is expected to be released by Hamas on Wednesday. Israel has said the truce could be extended further provided Hamas continues to free at least 10 Israeli hostages per day. The leaders of the CIA and Israel's intelligence agency Mossad met Qatar's Prime Minister in Doha on Tuesday to discuss the next phase of a potential deal in the ongoing ceasefire in Gaza. Take a look.
12 more hostages were released by Hamas on Tuesday in their ongoing ceasefire with Israeli forces. Israel's military confirmed that 10 Israeli citizens and 2 foreign nationals were on its territory. This Hamas video is said to show the handover to the Red Cross. 30 Palestinian prisoners were released by Israel in exchange. This began as a 4-day truce, was extended to 6 days, and now it's possible that it could stretch even further. A source has told Reuters that the heads of the CIA and Israeli intelligence met with Qatar's Prime Minister in Doha over what was described as the next phase of a potential deal. Egyptian officials were also present. The total number of hostages released by Hamas stands at 81 as of Tuesday. The 60 Israelis freed are all women and children. The reunions have been tearful and joyous for some families on both sides. Others don't know the fate of their loved ones.
Maybe it's part of a psychological war against us. I have no idea. It's working really good because the last 4 days has been completely nightmare for us.
Ofri Bibas has been pressing for the return of her brother's family, which includes the youngest of those taken by the Islamist militants. Kafir Bibas is only 10 months old.
My only brother was kidnapped with his entire family from their home in New Orleans on the 7th. His wife Shiri and 2 boys. Today not today. The reason we are talking to you today is because tomorrow is the last day of the current ceasefire and the current deal that Israeli have for releasing hostages. And they are still haven't been released.
Israel has said it's open to continuing the extended ceasefire further if Hamas continues to release at least 10 hostages per day. But with dwindling numbers of women and children in captivity, extending it beyond Wednesday may require Hamas to release some male hostages for the first time.
Now, a lot of developments in the upcoming Republican presidential race. Americans for Prosperity, the political arm of the influential Koch network, formally announced their endorsement of Nikki Haley's candidacy. Now, this endorsement brings with it a commitment of extensive support from a nationwide coalition of activists and substantial financial backing. Their aim is to propel Haley ahead of former President Donald Trump in the Grand Old Party's primary contest. The group's focus on defeating Trump stems from their belief that he would lose to President Joe Biden in the November 2024 election, based on Biden's victory over Trump in 2020. Highlighting internal polling and grassroots feedbacks, their Americans for Prosperity assert that Haley, the former UN ambassador, stands as the most viable candidate to challenge and overcome Trump in the Republican primary. Moreover, their internal data consistently positions Haley as the strongest contender against Biden in a general election. In the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, a concerning development emerges as the wife of Ukraine's intelligence chief is diagnosed with heavy metals poisoning. Now, she's the spouse of General Budanov, head of the military intelligence agency known as GUR, is currently receiving treatment in a hospital. Reports suggest that other agency employees were also exposed but remain asymptomatic. Budanov, renowned for accurately forecasting Russia's full-scale invasion, has survived multiple assassination attempts, including a thwarted car bombing. We now slip into a short break. Be right back. Stay with us.
News 9 big coverage of 5 assembly polls.